Hello, welcome to the weather update. It's about 9:30, March 8th, 2022, and yeah, plenty of cirrus around today. A lot of contrails in the sky. We didn't really get that clear sky I was hoping for today. This is more or less what the sky looked like. At least this is a picture with mostly cirrus in it, but you can see. Whoops. Oh, man, I apologize for that. You can see the cirrus right there. The contrails, there's a contrail right there. So yeah, there's some cirrus, but also some contrails in the sky. There were in the morning. It was really bad. There was nothing. They were all crisscrossing the sky. It was horrible. The sky looked absolutely awful. This is the current satellite loop. You can see those clouds are thickening as we deal with the next storm system that is coming our way. Speaking of storms, let's see if there are any storm reports. I don't see any storm reports from yesterday. I'm not going to go looking for them. I do see there's some winter weather advisories to the north and west for tomorrow, and we're going to get into that. This is the storm system that's going to be moving into our area currently over Tennessee and the interior south that will be heading up our way. So looking at the current temperatures right now, we're much more seasonable now with temperatures in the mid-30s, 34 at Islip, 27 at West Hampton, trying to get some radiational cooling. The winds are dropping, 41 in Central Park and 40 in Toms River. So let's go with the high temperatures today. Actually, these were as of midnight last night, I think. So, yeah, these might not be the actual high temperatures. So, you know what, we're not going to look at that. Let's just look at the station. Look at Islip. Oh, station plot. Yeah, I'm trying to... Oh, did I screw it up? All right, yeah, I screwed it up. You know what? Oh, the patience. We'll just do it this way. So 34 at Islip. We'll just look at the conditions throughout the day at Islip, and you will see cloud. Actually, it's reporting cloudy skies because this is all the clouds we had, all the high clouds we had, and we got up to 47. That was our daytime high. Obviously, it was much warmer last night. That's what those highs were from, around midnight. You can see some of these wind gusts, though. We had some pretty strong wind gusts during the day, 37 miles an hour at 10 a.m., 36. And I was out in the morning because I had to go to a doctor appointment, and that wind was really brutal out there in the morning. It was just very strong. It almost made it hard to walk. That's how strong the wind was. So let's go to the models now and see what we got coming our way. So we got this weak high over us, but you can see the storm system obviously spitting out all the cirrus and everything that's coming our way, and that's what we're going to be dealing with as we head into tomorrow. And because there's some marginally cold air around, we may see snowing. We see it start as snow, and then the rain will mix in later on. You can see there's your low pressure system moving just south of Long Island there. That moves away. We get a little break on Thursday and Friday, and then the next system comes for Saturday. This is a pretty strong. This is going to be a much stronger, deeper low that could have some strong winds and heavy rain. And then the backside, there may be some snow on the backside. I don't really think it's going to amount to much for our area, but inland they could get a lot of snow up in the mountains. It's going to be a big snow event for them. And the cold air would wind up moving in behind that on Sunday. You can see that high there. And then next week we have some high pressures moving in, and we'll have to watch a couple of storms again. A lot of storms popping up. That's typical for March. Did you see that? Obviously, yesterday's month was not typical at all. So when we look at this temperature anomaly chart, which we're going to go to right now, kind of showing you what's going to be happening as we head into the week. You can see tomorrow we're near normal, a little bit below normal. Even though it's feeling cold, this was really normal for March. And then we go above normal on Thursday. Friday and Saturday is when we go above normal ahead of that cold front, and then the cold air moves in for Sunday. We'll have another blast of cold air that we'll have, but you can see it's without blocking. It's March. This has been the story the whole winter. It lasts for one day, and then boom, we're back above normal again the next day, and then we're going to be dealing with some more above normal temperatures next week, including maybe some much above normal temperatures being forecast. We're kind of looking at the long range here. And I will also go and pull this out a little bit and look at the North American jet stream view as well, show you why this all is happening. And you can see generally with that ridging in the east, that with the trough in the Midwest there, that keeps the majority of the cold air away from us. But we will see that trough swing through for Sunday. That's what's going to bring you cold air. But then it's gone again. We have that ridge developing again, and the jet stream being kind of disorganized looking again there as we get later into March. Upper air. Go to the upper air here, and this is your upper air here. You can see that ridging in the east, but there's that deep trough. That's what's going to produce your huge storm here. The track of it, though, means mostly rain for us, but it will mean cold air at the end. We'll have to see if there's snow at the end of it. Probably won't be that much. And then after that, we get kind of in a just a ridge crappy pattern. After that, with the ridge and a lot of storm systems and junky skies, most likely. So as you saw today, junky sky, of course. Let me look at the European. We're going to compare this with the European upper air and see if there are any differences right now. I don't really see any. Let's see if we can. Oh, this is only going to go out to Saturday. All right, well, let me be the 12Z Euro goes further. This goes, all right, this goes a little further. So I'm just trying to see. Yeah, the Euro and the GFS pretty much in agreement there on that. Okay, so let's go to a close look at our area. We're going to go to the Rgl model, and we're going to look at what it's going to be doing for tomorrow with this storm system, because, again, temperatures are going to be a big factor here. And you can see we're going to have starts as rain, and then you have snow. Starts as rain, but then as the precipitation gets heavier, it could cool the layer down just enough to have snow for later into the early afternoon. And then we've got light rain, and then it finally moves on out of here by 7 o'clock or so. We're finally seeing this wrap up. Looks like light precipitation toward the end. The steadiest precipitation is probably going to be late morning through early afternoon. All right. With this low, and you can see the temperatures are just borderline there. You can see after that we're dry, all right, but these temperatures, it's going to be hard to really see. So let's look at the temperatures here. You'll see what I mean with these temperatures. You can see the temperatures are really above freezing, so the snow's going to fall, but the surface temperature is going to be above freezing, so that's why I don't think it's really going to stick to the roads. Maybe a coating on some grassy areas. North Shore maybe seeing an inch out of it. We're going to look at the output in a minute. And then behind the storm for Thursday, we see those temperatures recover into the upper 40s to around 50, which is slightly above normal. So let's see what the total snowfall is and the total accumulated precip on the Rgl. So you can see, yeah, it has painting almost 2 inches over us. This is the Rgl, which may be a little on the high side. But like I said, I think that you could see a coating to an inch on grassy surfaces is possible. I don't think it'll be on the roads, but it's because of that cooling. All right. Total accumulated precip as far as the liquid equivalent goes, it's going to dump half an inch to 3/4 of an inch of liquid equivalent on us. It's actually been kind of dry lately, so actually do need it. It's actually been a little dry lately, and we don't want to be too dry as we go into the brush fire season, as you know. So let's go back to this, and we're going to the NAM 12 now, and looking at the storm on the NAM. And I think you have the NAM is also in agreement with that period of steady snow, perhaps, and then a little bit of it'll be very light, but again. Let's see what the NAM does for total snowfall. This might be a little higher, and sure enough it is. This is the NAM after all. It goes a little more toward 4 inches on Long Island. Maybe overdoing it a little bit. And this is the 0Z NAM, by the way. But we have enough of it, and I think that it would... I can look at the 18Z, which goes a little further. You can see upstate, it really brings a lot more snow up there. So there are other bunch of parameters we could use for the snow. Let's do we have that on here? Yes, we have this. This is what I need. Okay, so FGen, which is another thing we can use. And you can see, look at that. There is a decent burst. And this is why I'm bringing this up is because when the precipitation gets heavy, even if the temperature is above freezing, sometimes it can cool the atmosphere down and get it to the below freezing point where the snow can stick and fall. And that's what I think we're going to see tomorrow is when that precipitation gets heavy is when you're going to see the snow. Could be some big flakes in there too, right around midday there coming down. That's pretty good. And you can see the blue. So we're in the blue with this, and this is the NAM. So that's what I'm saying. Grassy areas could see now. The ground is warm. It hasn't been very cold, so that's why I don't think it's going to be a lot of accumulation on the ground. If you had a snowboard and you were able to accumulate all of it, and that snowboard was at freezing, you probably could get 3 to 4 inches on that snowboard. But whether that's actually going to actually measure up on the ground, I really don't. I don't see it. I really don't see it. So once we get this storm out of the way, let's go to the GFS now. We can also look at the GFS too. And then GFS not quite as impressive on the FGen there. But let's look at the total snowfall on this GFS model. All right, so you can see, I know it's just a couple of dots, but it's not really showing all that much really. All right. Total accumulated precip. It also has the heavier precip to the south. So that's the issue, is where that heavier precip is. That's what cools the air column down to get it below freezing. And have that what you call dynamic cooling of the air mass, so you can actually have, it might be rain, but when the precipitation gets heavier, it'll become snow because the temperature has dropped. So this is going to be interesting. It's going to be, it's not going to be a big event, but it's going to be enough to, I think you're going to see some white on the ground tomorrow for sure. For most of us, especially Long Island. Maybe New Jersey will get away without south of the Raritan, but I think we're going to see a little bit of a wintry day tomorrow. All right, our winter is fleeting, so just grab it while you can. So for Thursday, day after we recover up into the upper 40s there, and then for Friday you can see the warmth building. Though again, we're going to actually put the dew point flow in here for a minute. All right, so you can see which way the wind is coming from. So tomorrow, that's another factor with the wind. So the wind is from the east, all right? And then it becomes more onshore. Actually, it does not. So you can see the wind's from the east, but it doesn't actually. The storm center is to the south. So even though we have the onshore flow, that favors the colder solution. Then we have the northerly flow Thursday coming southerly, and then the southerly flow on Friday. And then you can see this is the cold front here. This is the next storm that we would have to concern ourselves with. And you can see a very strong LLJ. Look at that deep humidity, and then look at that fine line between that and the cold Arctic air that's going to be behind it. Could we see another severe weather event? And then look at Sunday. We have the Arctic air and gusty west to northwest winds coming into the picture. All right, but you can see it's fleeting. It's gone by Monday. All right, but if we look at the temperatures here, you'll see how the temperatures correspond to this. Friday, you can see warm, and then we get that real surge Saturday. That real surge, it'll be a wet surge. It'll be raining, heavy rain, and then that cold air comes in, and temperatures drop behind it. And then Sunday, we're probably only in the mid-30s. All right. So now we go and we look at the next storm. All right, and we don't have too many models to look at that. I'm going to use the 24-hour snowfall for that, just to give you an idea of what the next storm looks like. And you can see it's not so much an issue for our area. It's going to be to our west. I don't think we're going to pick up that much snow out of it. But the concern is when we look at the precipitation that we could see, perhaps some. Let me look at that. Do we have a V here? We do. The center of the logo is right over us, but I see the V in the isobars again. So could we be seeing some thunderstorms perhaps on Saturday? We may see that again. All right, and then behind it, obviously, see the isobars being close together again. That is the wind factor that we got to worry about. So if we look at the winds, you can see this is worrisome. Very strong southerly fetch offshore. You see very strong winds, and then for Sunday we'll still see those gusty winds, but it's getting better by the afternoon. But we have this storm to focus on, and I'm not going to go too nuts over the other storm right now. We can look at a few more models for that. But let's go to the skies now. There we got this first storm out of the way and see if we get any clear skies between now and Saturday. I don't think we're going to see it. GFS, yeah, doesn't really look too encouraging. Thursday, maybe Friday. Maybe we'll get some clear skies on Friday. Then obviously plenty of clouds to Saturday. And then Sunday, we're next day to clear it out. with some cold air. But that's the cold, dry air is what brings in the clear sky. Sometimes that's what you need. So let's go to the Rgl model now. So this is the Rgl model, which was a disappointment. It looked like it was going to be better for us, but you can see that series was just on the northern fringe. If we're further north, we wouldn't have dealt with it. Obviously, tomorrow we're going to deal with plenty of clouds with the system moving through. And then for Thursday, we're probably going to have a veil of high clouds again. But Friday, maybe we can eke out a clear sky for a little while. We'll have to see what happens. But Friday's the next day you're going to see the sun. You will see the sun on Friday. But after that, then we're back to the next storm system. So let's go to the windy.com model. And let me look at the European model and see how that is handling this next system. The next system, not tomorrow's system, but the next system that we're worried about, which is the strong system for Saturday. With the winds here. Now, Euro looks completely different here, doesn't it? Look completely different. It does look completely different. Let's take a look at this. So Euro's faster and further east. It's one thing I'm noticing here. And that could change the snow, and that puts us in the snow on the backside. So the European wants to give us snow on the backside. You can see. And whether this European is right is another story, but it would give us snow on the backside. Yeah, but we'd have less of the wind because we would be less. We'd have less of that LLJ. Let me go to the wind and the wind gusts here. Yes, that LLJ would be further to the east. We would never get into the LLJ. So we have a disagreement on the models. The Euro did look a little further east when we were looking at that upper air. So, yeah, it keeps the worst of that. It keeps that LLJ offshore, but look at them. The winds in that LLJ, 93 miles an hour. You better hope that stays offshore if it's that strong. And again, this is the European model. If we look at the GFS, which we can change to right here, you see a completely different look. Warm air surging. The storm track is much further to the left versus the European, and it would give some of these strong wind gusts to bring some strong wind gusts in with this LLJ. This is the GFS now, which is not good. 75 mile an hour winds off the south shore gusting. That would not be a good situation. That could also cause some high surf, as you know, if we put the waves in here. Yeah, you see what's going on. So this wouldn't be good. So you have a warm, wet scenario, and then you have a more wintry scenario. Let me go back to the European model, and we can look at the new snow amounts here. All right, this is next 3 days. Not showing much, but let's throw in the next 5 days, and then I'll show in the next storm. So the European would give us 3 inches. It would give us an accumulating snow, just a couple of inches, and then inland, they get clobbered inland. So we're going to have to watch this next storm. We have an active weather pattern, 2 major storms to watch. Tomorrow is going to be more of a calm, peaceful type of snow, but for this intense storm on Saturday, we'll have to see. Could be snow. You got to have it, basically, depending on the track, you'll have less wind but more snow, or a lot more wind and hardly any snow, depending on where that warm sector winds up. But if you get in that LLJ, that's what we got to worry about. And again, if we go back to the GFS here and look at that LLJ there, you can see it's got a very strong LLJ. And if we go to the winds here, again, if we go to wind gusts, you see the kind of winds that it's bringing in. Look at how warm those temperatures are, too. So we definitely have variations in the models. There is actually one more model I could look at. If I want to back it up to tropical tidbits again, we can go to the icon model as well. So let's do that. And see how the icon handle. All right, we don't have enough of that 0 as the icon in, but let's look at the 18Z run of this and see how it tracks this storm. So, yeah, icon is also to the left, and warm sector's us. So, yeah, we'll have to see what happens. So we have disagreement right now on the track of this storm at the surface. So this is the icon. And then if we go to Euro, which, well, we have EC. One of these does it. Well, maybe it's this one. Darn it. All right, hold on. This is the one that has precip on it. I think they added the precip later. So if we go to this, it's not going to show the wintry part precip, but you can see the storm track is different. So this is the European. All right, that's the European. GFS, further to the left. So that's going to make a big difference in what we see out of this storm for the weekend. So that's going to wrap up this weather update. tomorrow, well, it'll be a little wintry out there, but the weekend, Saturday, could be a real wild soaker or a little snow, depending on the storm track. So that's going to be it for this weather update. Take care, and thanks for watching.